Something that I've never seen necessarily spelled out or dressed up in the kind of way that it came to me tonight is the fact that society, specifically American society, because I'm an American and I've always only been an American, literally encourages people to be complete sociopaths to the average person that they will encounter within America. And what I mean by that is that the entire point, the structure of America is to get money. And so therefore, the only people that you're ever going to meet in your adult life are probably people that are trying to get money so that they don't die. And that's probably what you're doing too. And when I apply to most jobs on Indeed, usually, or anywhere in general, the application usually says 3 mess ups and you get terminated. And obviously, the employer who wrote that knows the society that we live in, and they know that the only reason why the person is applying for this job is probably because they need money, and for whatever reason this job is one of the only options that they have, and they're desperate, and if they don't get it they will die. And the person who wrote out that label, that description, 3 strikes and you're out, is telling you right from the start that they don't give a shit about, literally they do not give a shit if you live or die. And that they will never give a shit every single shift that you desperately crack your back and your schedule for to show up on time for and to do everything right, and you can't screw up, or you literally are told by the manager, I don't care that you die, bye. And that's literally fucking traumatizing. I am severely depressed after living in this society as an adult for even 5 years, and this is with my parents' support, because everything is just about, like, I don't care about you as a person. I don't care what happens to you. I'm using you and you're using me so that we can both survive. And literally, there's no way for most people to not be a sociopath in society. And what amazes me is how people are just so quick to be a sociopath, just so that they can, just because that's just the way it is. Like, well, as the manager and as the owner, I'm supposed to tell you that if you get terminated 3 times, you're going to get fired. And a lot of people would probably invalidate me and say, like, oh, stop being such a baby and just do your job right. But mistakes happen. And not all of us can get a job after those, if we, quit a job that's not great and start a new job hoping it's better, and then that job doesn't work out because we made too many mistakes or something, or we just couldn't get to work for reasons that are completely beyond our control. And like, literally, there's just no forgiveness. It's just like, sorry, I'm kicking you out on your ass because I don't care about you outside of being a cog to my own desperation of staying alive. And I was literally crying about an hour and a half ago, and I was severely depressed all day today, not even for any specific reason, but just about everything in general. And then I get messaged at the end of the night about a job I applied for, and the message was fine, but then on the actual Indeed application it said 3 strikes and you're out. And being the overthinking, severely depressed, pretentious person that I am, it's set off my severely depressed brain onto this tumblewheel about the fact that this person is literally telling me to my face right off the bat that they don't care if I live or die as a person, because they must know that obviously I'm only doing this job for the sake of surviving, and they're only there as a manager so that they can survive. And there's all these, and a lot of people don't even question it. They're just like, oh yeah, of course, that's just the way that things are. But, I've seen all this talk on the internet, on social media, about like the Matrix, and about how like, and all those sayings that you heard growing up, like, just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean that it's right. And that like wrong is wrong no matter how many people are accepting it or doing it. And that right is right no matter how little people are doing it. And I just feel like I'm not cut out to be a part of this society. Like, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I've never felt so lost and so adrift in my life. Because my whole existence now is either sitting in 4 vacant walls, going out to some corporate slave trade place where people are suffering the same way as I am, just to get food or groceries, and looking at the reality of that, even on my days off. It's just, there's no love anywhere in American society. There really isn't. I mean, the closest thing you can get is consumption, and even that is just full of more broken, terrible, sad people. And I just, my whole life, I've heard all these lessons. I heard all these lessons growing up about how, like, just because the world is doing it or just because the world is accepting it doesn't mean that it's right, and it doesn't mean that it's the way that it should be. And that's exactly how I feel with my severe depression, being in America. And believe me when I say severe, I mean, literally, the inside of the human brain is so, so different than when you're just talking about it with your face. Like, I generally feel like it's one of the reasons why people don't take people's mental illnesses seriously, because I swear to God, the inside of our minds are so much deeper and so much more complex and intense than anything you could ever explain with the mouth or with face. I feel if there is a God, I definitely think that he kind of punished us in a sense by only being able to express ourselves with our face and mouth, at least in terms when we're just talking about our day-to-day struggles. Because it really is true that I cannot express how much despair that I'm in, that the world is like this. And I know that I'm like a loser. Like, I have an average degree. I don't really have any prospects for a great job. I'm not particularly talented by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not especially entertaining or likable, so I can't even become an influencer, etc. But I know for a fact that almost everyone feels this way, and the people that don't are the rich, successful people that don't care about anyone but themselves, which is technically their right, but still very annoying. And I just don't know what to do. The first 4 years of my life, I wanted to owe myself, and I did owe myself. And I still do want to do that, but at the same time, I don't want to die. I really don't. But I don't want to be a part of this cold, soulless, aimless, pointless, sick society that we're a part of. And it feels like it's irreparable. And there's nothing that I can do as a completely below average person about it. So I just keep thinking, like, how do I save myself without dying and without being a part of this sick system? And the only thing I can think of genuinely is to go out on the side of the street with the blankets and with the coats that I own, and to eat grass on the side of the street and to just get free water when I can. And literally, that would be my life. Life feels so empty and so vacant, to me anyway, that I don't think it would even feel that different anyway. I mean, I can't afford kids. I can't afford a family. Dating has always been crap because everyone's morality is fried, I guess because of overconsumption of information and media. So everyone's just cynical and depressed or a narcissist or something to that degree, or just insane from comparing themselves to the constant people that are out there. So what does that leave us? Like, what are we working for? What are we even living for? And I know I've said this so many times, and I'm just talking to walls, but I don't feel like I even exist. And I haven't felt human in years. I'm literally just on monotoned robot mode with my stupid little projects and my hours at whatever job I'm working. Like, I'm just on fucking robot mode. But I feel the despair every minute of every fucking day with everything that I do. And nights like tonight, it's becoming so unbearable that I feel like it's almost impossible for me not to act on these feelings in some way, in the sense that I just never work again or even try to, and I just learn how to live without money. I thought that I was attached to a couple of things like phones and social media, but I've come to realize over a period of time that that's a part of the lie that we're given to motivate us to work as a society. Like, oh, go to work for 10 hours so that you can buy a phone so that you can look at cheap sociopathic garbage from just as equally broken people on social media all day that don't care about you or even talk about anything that matters, but mostly just post about a bunch of junk that is either superficial, not what's going on, or not, nothing thoughtful or creative or artistic or even human. Most people use their platform to either show off their ass or to, abuse people emotionally online for God fuck knows whatever reason. So I'm just in a lot of despair, and none of this makes any sense. And we literally have encouraged sociopathy in society rather than community. And it is completely completely devastating, and I mean that from the bottom of